And we do have our. So I'd like to call this special meeting of the Board of Public Safety to order. Today is Monday, July 18th, 2022. We are doing a hybrid meeting, participating in person here at the City Hall Auditorium. I have Board of Safety member Molly Spino, Greg Cogswell, Glenn McLeod, Darlene Battle, and participating via Zoom, I have Commissioner McElroy. Before we begin the meeting, could we please stand and pledge the flag?
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Because this is a special meeting, the only things that we can discuss would be the item as shown on the agenda. So I'll open this with a request for a motion to authorize the mayor to award, execute, and administer the contract for the purchase/trade-in of the Sig Sauer handguns and supplies to Atlantic Tactical Inc. of New Cumberland, Pennsylvania for $12,700. Explained in purchasing agent Penny Zuko's letter dated July 13th, 2022, pending approval of the city council.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Cogswell, seconded by Commissioner Spino. The floor is open if you want to talk a little bit about this purchase.
Back in November of 2021, I believe, I discussed with the board our desire and our need to transition over from our current firearms, which were getting up there in age and usage, and that we wanted to transition over to the 9mm firearms. As a result, it was going to be very cost effective for the city. The total cost at this point for this transition is going to be about $12,000, which is a relatively considerable cost savings for the city. A lot of our leather gear, our holsters, our gun belts, and magazine pouches are all going to be covered by a JAG grant, which was approved, which we just recently got approval for. It was very, very, very cost effective for us to go to this type of a firearm. There's been a lot of studies done as to transitioning to a 9mm firearm from our current 45s. The 9mm platform is better situated for law enforcement officers. I tasked Captain Barone to be the project manager on this firearm. So I'm going to turn the mic over to him for any other further questions or comments concerning this. And just one final thing is that this firearm, we tested several firearms. Officers had the opportunity and the ability to fire all of the firearms and to use these firearms. And the majority of our officers chose this specific platform. So I'll turn it over to Captain Barone.
Just want to touch briefly on the testing that was done. We started looking at these guns in the fall, talking to other departments throughout the state where they were going. The movement in the state was back to the 9mm. We talked to several departments that had recently transitioned over. I contacted 3 different manufacturers, got 2 different models of each gun from all 3 manufacturers. We had a couple days of testing, not only with our tactical team, but a good group of people from the department. I think we were around 27 or 28 officers came at different times to try the guns, and majority of the officers chose the handgun that we have selected here, the Sig Sauer 320. And when we looked into repair kits and everything, as the chief said, we're getting a very good price and trade-in value on our current firearms. And to replace the springs and go through the gun as we should, a gun of this age was going to be around $150. Plus you got to figure an average approximate $50 to $65 or more for a gunsmith to do the work. Cost effective to trade these in and purchase new ones.
Thank you, Captain and Chief. Questions from the floor?
Just one question. In terms of trade-in value, I mean, you know, a car, obviously there's standards of how they kind of do. Is there a way that they determine, so we know that that's a appropriate trade-in value?
Actually, they gave us a range. They gave us anywhere from $300 to $325, the SIG rep. And it's about, and it was right in there. And actually they came in, I believe, at 326. I think 326 for each gun. So, and our original numbers, we were planning on the 300 range.
Okay, but they have like a set of standards, how
Yes.
they get to that number, and that's
Exactly.
just something I'm not familiar with, so. And my only last question is, no concern or issue with only one bid on this? We're comfortable with the company and no?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, SIG Sauer. I mean, our current guns are SIG Sauer handguns, and you know, they've been around a while, and we know several departments have transitioned over to the same model.
but there could be other vendors, right? Or is it just Sig Sauer is the one sole vendor for, I guess that's what I was wondering.
That's the manufacturer, and the
Okay.
only one that could bid on it was Atlantic Tactical, because they hold the gun sale rights or wholesale rights for this area.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Floor still open. Other questions? I think Joe is good at using his hand signals. Does Joe have any questions?
I'm all set, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank the dog too. All right, if there are no other questions, then I will call the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. There being no further business before the board this evening, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you,
Second.
Commissioner McLeod, seconded by Commissioner Cogswell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you all.
Aye.